Probably too early to take a victory lap here, but so far the Phillies offense doing exactly what I said the Phillies offense can do. They can outslug anyone. 5 home runs in game 3. Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper, Schwarber, Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh, all getting in on the action, really just hammering Lance McCullers. And now the Phillies have a 2-1 lead. Kyle, are you surprised after game 3?
I was very surprised by the outcome of game 3, and not necessarily the home runs for Philadelphia. We know Philadelphia's offense comes big when they need it. It was the sheer amount of the home runs that surprised me. And I think the final score being 7-0 surprises me a bit more. We've seen Houston come back from down 3 runs. We've seen Houston come back from down 5 runs. Like, stuff like that happens. I think the sheer volume of the home runs for Philly, the fact that it was 5 different players hitting 5 home runs, and the fact that it ended up being 7-0, like a start to finish route, that one definitely surprised me. And the series being 2-1 is also a bit surprising because Houston's looked thoroughly dominant in the first 2 games.
Now, I said this very on in our group chat, but I put a lot of blame on Dusty for allowing that lead to get as insurmountable as it became. You got shut out, so it's obviously a big blame is going to be put on the offense. But I felt like Dusty not taking out McCullers earlier was almost like a death blow to the Astros, because it was very clear after the second inning, McCullers doesn't have it. And as we progress and then we see the home runs of Marsh and we see the home runs of Schwarber, kind of on the manager to know when his guy needs to get out of that game. I understand preserving the bullpen, but we're in the World Series. You sometimes need to do some weird stuff to kind of like make up for it. There's no tomorrow, or at least play each game like there's no tomorrow. So I put a little bit of the blame and onus on this game on Dusty. And then the offense, I don't know what happened to the Houston offense. They were able to get that quick lead in game 2, but after they were able to establish that 5-run lead in game 1, they also disappeared. So they're the type of team that could just pull a Houdini and just you don't see their offense the rest of the game. And I think that's kind of why they're off to this 1-2 deficit.
You know, every year we talk about October heroes, and every year we talk about the random, like Manny Pina, who for the Brewers had 2 regular season homers and then hit 3 in the playoffs in 2018, or Trent Grisham having the worst batting average on the team and hitting homers off DeGrom and Scherzer. For Philadelphia, theirs is actually the surprise pitcher in that case. Ranger Suarez has been incredible. And I was hearing his story in the NLCS where he's from Venezuela. He was originally a relief pitcher. He's only in the Philadelphia rotation because they have a lack of depth at starting pitching. And Ranger Suarez in game 3 against the Padres pitched a shutout. In the closeout game, he came in out of the bullpen and sealed off the deal after the Bryce Harper home run. And now here in game 3 to shut out the Astros again, like Ranger Suarez has been incredible for Philadelphia so far. And that was something that I think has really helped them on this chaotic run, because he got torched in his first game against, I believe it was Atlanta. He got torched the first game he played and then has turned around and become unhittable for Philadelphia. And I think I'm with you with Dusty Baker. I mean, it's difficult to pull Lance McCullers because of how much of an ace he's been and how much of a strong pitcher, but I think game script, I agree with you.
But he was also a little bit banged up coming into the series. So I think when you factor in the injury and you factor in the lack of performance early on in this game, I think that's a clear move that the manager has to get his guy out, especially because, again, I know that the offense didn't show up for the Astros, but you fall behind 7 runs early. Sometimes that could just demoralize the lineup. And I think that's kind of what we saw for Houston. They move into this game 4. And right now, Philadelphia is 6-0 at home. So they've turned Citizens Bank Park into the best home field advantage here in October baseball this time around. We'll see if there's any more rain delays. I know there was some rain in the forecast. Everything is kind of like working in Philly's favor. Do you think they've taken control of the series?
Well, baseball's weird and random, but I mean, the fact they're up 2-1 has been surprising, considering that I would say Houston's been the better team for 2/3 of this series, because, man, I can't believe Houston lost that game 1. I cannot believe Houston lost that game 1. They were so dominant. And it looks like, you know, we've had a game where Houston's pretty much dominated Philadelphia and Philadelphia's pretty much dominated Houston now. It's always difficult, especially when it's a 2-1 series like this. But I mean, Philadelphia at home has been incredible. And I tend to agree with you on the Dusty Baker thing. I think game script, you could kind of tell McCullers was kind of done by the 2nd and 3rd inning, but it's difficult to pull any starter in that situation, especially someone like McCullers. And I'm with you. Like, when you lose 7-0, it's a combination of like 5 different things that went wrong, but pitching management is definitely one of those issues for the Astros.
All right, guys, let us know what you thought of World Series Game 3 and how that's going to affect the rest of the series as we progress. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media. From Juju and Kyle, stay safe, happy, and healthy. We will see you on the next one.